Let's talk about communication. Let's talk about the difference between texting someone and calling someone and trying to read between the lines. If you are a manager, if you are in a relationship, if you value the personal connections that you have with different people, this is for you. This is something that's foundational to anyone who is a mentor or a coach, and something that we recognize very early. And that is that when you're having a conversation or you're communicating with people, whether it is about a work topic, whether it is about something that you're trying to achieve, or just saying how much you appreciate them, what I find most challenging in those situations is really understanding where that person is and where they're coming from. You see, we don't know a lot about any one individual. And you would probably, if you reflect on it, would say that no one really knows who you are, right? Who you are on the inside is complex. It's a prism. It has so many different angles. And depending on what's happening and pressing on you, those different edges and those angles change. So when we reflect on that and we see that that is a possibility, then that beautiful dynamic of what makes up that person that you're speaking to becomes apparent. And what I always recognize is that I have to understand that I don't know what's going on in the world right now. I might send a very simple note to someone and get a reply that maybe it's framed in a certain way, maybe it's a little curt, maybe it's a little tight, a little harsh. And that doesn't make it that they're trying to be mean to me per se. They might just have something going on. And a lot of times, if you think about it, if you think about the tension that might be happening, maybe an athlete is trying to do something and they just can't quite make it work, or you're trying to do something at work, or you're trying to get a sale, or you just found out you were furloughed, right? All of these change the dynamic of us as individuals and how we relate and interact with people. That doesn't mean that people can't have bad days or poor situations, or that we're, if we have a negative event, that doesn't mean we need to behave differently. Sometimes people are just being polite amidst the chaos, amidst the pain that they are feeling in their hearts around a situation. I have a lot of friends and very close to me that are really struggling right now because of this pandemic. They're struggling personally, professionally, emotionally, right? And so when we think about that, it now is the most important time that you to pick up that phone, do a FaceTime call, do video chats, interact with people to really get a sense of where they are. Every conversation I'm having these days, I call with a purpose. I call to see how they're doing. I call to give them love, literally just to say hello. I have a need from a business perspective to ask certain questions and get certain data and achieve certain objectives. But when I open that phone call and I have that first conversation, it is not about what I need. It is about me listening and trying to understand where this person is. Where are they? Sometimes that might mean they just have to rant on you, tell you about something that's really pressing hard on their soul, that makes them super nervous, that makes them fear for their family, feel for their finances. It might be they're just trying to do a good job. But whatever it is, I try to create the space to have that freedom of expression and discussion such that we together can then move forward equally. Now, one hack here, if you want to connect with people, you open up the door and you have that first conversation. Those first few words are opening door for them to tell you how are they feeling. When they ask how are you doing, you have to be authentic. You cannot portray a level of calm if we are stressed and tense on the inside. They can see right through it. Your words are framed one certain way. Your face is showing that you're stressed. You don't have the creativity that you normally do. So all of these facts just to share that when you ask how your spouse, your coworker, your friend, your business partner is doing, and you pause and you just let them talk, and then you come back and you empathize and you give them comfort. You don't try to solve it, just give them comfort. And then when they say, well, how are you doing? How are you, Jimmy? Now is your moment to be honest. And that is what it is. Being vulnerable is being human. And it allows those that you are trying to connect to get that similar state of awareness so that they can work with you too. This communication thing is two ways. We cannot just be interested in the other party and then gloss over our happiness, our joy, or our concern, stress, and worry. Equally, we need to share that. So if you had an amazing moment in your life and I ask how you're doing, I want you to tell me you're having an amazing moment. Don't be holding it back because you don't think that other person wants to hear it, or worse, that you're judging. You think you're going to be judged because you shared something like that. That is ridiculous. If you have something good to share, share it. Sometimes I even ask, I say, what's good today? What are you focused on? I know we've got all this happening, but are you trying to get anything to happen? Are you going to get to be with your daughter later on today? Are you making anything that you're creatively happy around? Just ask. I had a personal experience just moments ago, but literally every call I've had today began like this. We had a text message exchange, kind of got a vibe from it, and then I literally hit the FaceTime button and I called them directly. Didn't ask if I could FaceTime them. Nope. I just straight up FaceTimed them and had amazing conversations that I'm extremely grateful for having. I'm better because of them. It's because of those quick moments of being like, I hear you, and then let's have a conversation so we can connect better. It matters. Context matters. And sometimes they might just need to vent and let out the stress so that they can then move forward better in their day. Whatever purpose we can serve, we should do so. So, for all the leaders, those in relationship, and all those who are just having conversations with people they care about, focus on being two-way communication. Call everyone and anyone and let them know that you care, that you know that they're still there, and that you wish them well. And in each of those moments and each of those calls, you will better their day. You will both see benefits emotionally, and you might be able to create something new you didn't plan on. So, communication, get out of the text, get to the human, be empathetic, listen, share by being vulnerable, and we'll all be better because of you and your actions.